Hi everyone, Messi Coder back again with another part of my live dev interview with AI Unity. Now we're playing about with Nlog, logger and multiple tags. This was taken on my live Twitch stream, all the www.twitch.tv/themessycoder. You can catch me every Fridays and Saturdays playing about, having interviews, making games and playing games. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a second. So let's play about now with back into Unity. Let's hide Visual Studios and let's play with multi-tag. So I just need to create here an empty game object.
That's right.
And if I go to my inspector, what I'd normally expect to do is I've just got here and I'll just click main camera. Oh, and I better make it visible for everyone. So I would go and then I would click, oh, and I want to change, I want this one to be a player. And this is what I'd normally do if I was doing tags.
Yes.
So
now you'll bring up like all the AI Unity tools. You bring up the GUI under the tools menu. Oh, you already have it there.
Yeah, so I went
it might be good
people
if
can
you
see now, so they can go multiple tags, control panel, forums help. So everyone can see my screen now of all of the menus.
Perfect. And are you able to bring multi-tags below the inspector so we can see the inspector and multi-tags simultaneously? That's very helpful in this case.
There you go.
Yes, that will be very helpful. Extremely helpful, actually. Now, so you can see we have the Unity tag player. So we're not messing with the system at all. It will always remain the system. All's multi-tags is letting you see it in a different format. And here's the magic. What if you want? Oh yeah, here's some good things. We can get into that too. We can find tags but let's start with some secret sauce. Let's add a second tag, which was never before happened to this game object. So maybe say you can add an existing one. Finish. Oh, see the magic? Look up in tags.
Yeah, I saw that. Player / finish.
So there's a secret in Unity that if you separate tags with a backslash, it considers it one string, so it thinks it's one tag. But all my APIs that look for multi-tags, can see them as separate tags. And there's a neat hierarchy thing with Unity. If you click the tags in the inspector up there, backslashes come in a hierarchy. So player, finish. So you can see, so it has two tags. It has player and finish, and everybody's happy. And now if you there's some, you can click
oh my word, mind is blown.
And if you want to, now we did this a couple times. If you load up the multi-tags example, it just has just like you did, it has like 10 game objects all with multi-tags, so we can just kind of see a little bit more, a whole bunch of things with tags, so we don't have to do it manually. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And I labeled the game objects. You can see the name of the game object. It has tag T1. The Go has tag T1, T2. I just named them that way so we could debug. And so as you click through them, you can see how they have the different tags.
Color.red.
Yeah, and it does hierarchy. You can do grouping of tags like that. It has a lot of little features. And we can take a look here at find tags. Yeah, so like click on let's say click on tags with T1. See the little check boxes?
Yeah.
And then let me see here. Oh, okay. My apologies. You can unclick that. That tells you which ones you find. You can do in the tag expression in the info box there, right? Type the tag expression you're trying to look for, like T1. So there's the two tags that have T1, and if you click on one, they'll be highlighted in the hierarchy browser. Like just it highlighted it, and if you click the other one, so you know which. Oh no, that's yeah. I'm sorry. That's for find game object. So that shows you. That's just a way to search for tags. Now here, this is what I was referring to. So now you can see. So now here we can do the same thing in the tag expression. Let's look for in the tag expression, search for ones with T1. And this helps you, like if you're using the API. Now, if you click these, it'll show you the corresponding game objects. Yeah, the objects with T1, and they highlight, and it works both directions. If you highlight it in the hierarchy, they get highlighted over here. So this is real useful, this find game object, because if you're in your APIs in your scripts, if you're looking for tags T1, you can practice here. Like, what game objects have T1? Unity didn't have this ability. So you can just see T1. Oh, these are my objects. You can just see them visually, just like the API that says find game objects.
There's many times I've needed to actually just find something by tag.
Yeah, and so that will do it. And you can highlight them. You can add tags. You can see in that area. And I can't stress enough that I have not built a tag system. This is Unity's tag. So, again, if you type, one of those game object go T3 red, it will just be the Unity tag with backslashes separating the tags. And so that's how it's able to do multi-tags with the Unity tag system.
Marshan's asking, is there a maximum amount of tags that an object can have?
No. As long as a string can be. I've never reached a maximum. So they're just T1/T2/T3/T4/T5.
And it'll just...
So you can go for it. Keep giving it stuff. And you can see up above what's happening. It starts with the first tag that you gave it. I forgot what that was. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
And so if you click that, that means that it has all those tags. So you can use the tag system. The GUI is only a help. You could stay and survive just in the Unity tag system if you wanted. But this gives you a way to find game objects.
Why would you? Why would you want something like this?
Yeah, and the color red, that grouping is, often you want tags with color.blue.red. It has, that's helpful in APIs to group things, group tags in a grouping like color.
But each time I'm making one of these now, this hierarchy gets defined as a new tag with this structure, finish /
That's right. That's correct.
Is there not going to be a limit on the number of tags I can have itself? It's not the number of tags on an object, but the number of tags that are created inside Unity.
It does clean up. So you made that, it's only one tag when you did that whole path. Now that you took two out, and I think that's one of the options at the end, I clean up if nobody has the tag, because that was one long giant tag you had just a moment ago.
Yeah.
Now that you just subtracted it, it got rid of that tag because nobody's using it. And but I don't know there is, like, layers has a limit of 32 and things, but tags for that matter do not.
I'm gonna have to stress test this.
And I think tag will always be this way. I think they do it, and it's a very crude way of not having multi-tags, but I think they're able to search tags quickly because they're just one string and not, different objects, because they just create one simple table, and then during runtime they can find the gauge objects. So by sticking with their system, performance is not impacted.
The question is, why is this demo got should I click play? Is this going to do anything, or?
I've included this in a couple because they come from my logger. I'm able to log, and I just do it so I can log to it. It doesn't. I've included this game console in a couple. I guess did it come from my Nlogger? So my Nlogger, it can log. We haven't got to Nlog, but it can log to the console. But it also can log to an in-game GUI here.
Yeah, you need to maybe give this a bit more width.
Yes, it's more for
not as fat. Oh, why?
Like this.
Oh, the child in me is very happy because nobody wants not as fat. What? Info there.
Maybe you want water.
Yeah, awesome. Right, questions in chat we've got here. Mine is blown, so we need to stress test this to see what the limit could be. So something like terrain is terrain/tree1, terrain/tree2, terrain/t2/small. Yeah, exactly. Is there any special thing you've got to do for multi-tag when referencing an object in code, or is it just independent tag references enough?
No, the APIs. Why don't we look at this? That would probably clear it all up. There's a test script, like we had for
Yep.
Animator Builder that just uses the tags now.
So
Probably tag multi-tag example or tag access example. I'm not sure which. Let's do that one. Oh, okay, it's the other one, I think. Let's see here.
VR Game Zone. No, you haven't missed it. We're gonna give away a copy of this wonderful multi-tag, aren't we?
Yes, very much so.
Just making sure.
I like the raffle.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It's addictive.
Yeah, it is. I want to see who wins.
Who's gonna win the raffle? All right, so
If you expand the fields and properties there, let's
do this.
make sure this is the right place. I think it feels like it is. Let me see the properties and methods there. I'm trying to recall. Let me just make sure it's what it's doing. Okay, yes, this is it. Okay, so there we're in the wake method, and this is part of probably the demo scene, but there's so many APIs to find handles to confirm results. Hold on a second here. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, scroll down on the start method. I'll show all the different ways, and this is part of the demo. You can see it will just start here on line 78. So you want to find a game object that has T1, and then my analyze results helps you know what the results should be. So it's just checking. It's like again, I do a unit test. It kind of serves as my checker. So you can see that I'm expecting go T1 and go T1 T2 to be an answer. And if you ran this, it would show error if it wasn't. So looking for any game object with T1. So T1 T2 has both T1 tag and T2, but it returns it. And the next one shows you this. Remember the script builder?
Oh,
you can use script builder to build this access script. So you don't have to write in quotes T1. So there, I don't know if you know, but ironically, of course, I connected my builders, but my assets. But you can create an access script for your tags. So example .t1, so you don't have to use the strings and be a little susceptible to that. This actually includes a little script builder. I just snuck it in here, so it builds this access example. This multi-tags will build the little. And that was the other file we opened, so that you don't have to use strings. And so here's another API on line 86. You can do an OR. So you can say, I want to look for any game object that's T1 or T2. Here's on line 90. You can use regex expressions. So you can find any game object as T1 or T3 and is colored red. I hope you can start to see the power.
We haven't started the raffle yet, everyone, so you need to hold off. Like Rolshan's peeing himself laughing because he was the first to chuck a raffle in there and seeing how many lemmings would join him off the cliff. We haven't started it yet, boys and girls. We haven't started it.
Oh, that was clever.
Yeah, he's a very clever badger. Because then when it starts, everyone thinks that they've already put their raffle in, and then Rolshan comes in with his raffle. Very clever badger.
Oh my goodness. And then 94 there is a regex expression with the star. So T dot anything. Dot star is a regex thing. So T1, T2, or any tag starting with T will be matched. And so you can see the analyze results is expects to find all the T tag game objects. So there you go. You got endless power with how you want to search for ors and ands of whatever tags.
Man, there's so many times I'm sitting there going, I need to have multiple tags, and then you go, I'm just gonna resort to just using layers for everything, which I shouldn't be, or like doing some kind of dirty hack myself. But this, like you say, this doesn't reinvent the wheel. This is using tags the way that Unity has them. So it kind of feels like you're using multi-tags in how Unity expected people to do it. But the Unity may have said, I can't believe no one's using multi-tags at the moment, because for all this time we've had it inside Unity and you can control it by doing / and it's there. Why is nobody doing this?
I think so, or more likely, I think that, or they go, oh my gosh, we could have done multi-tags. Why didn't we see this? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then they refuse to admit their faults.
But and the power is in the API. So now you have everything with multi-tags. Now you can do the magic and say I want anything with T2 and T3 but not T4, and I want trees that are green, but or I want a red car, all the vehicles that are cars that are red, but not not with tires, or however you tag things, you can now do complex logic on finding your game object. You often want to find all the, let's say, all the AIs out there, but the ones that are not my enemy and that have a green shirt, something you always want to do, and you're having to do hard, complex things to search them down.
Oh, Roshan saying that multi-tags and script builder are both 100% useful. I never used debugging, so I'm not qualified on Nlog commentary. Let's do our giveaway. So let's reset.
Sounds good. Yeah, because I do want to get the Nlog. I think people will really. That's the highest downloaded asset by far.
All right, so you guys ready? Exclamation mark Raffles in chat. Roshan was in there like a shot. Like a shot. Remember, if you do want to be in with a chance to win this, you do need to be a follower. Click follow on the Twitch. Come on, we got to get to 500 followers. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for much. I want to get to 500 followers. How many followers have we got at the moment? Let me just check. How many followers have we got? 2! We've got 2 followers only. We've got 2 followers on Twitch. Come on. That's it. Click on it. Kitoru. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Kitoru. Much appreciated. We want to be doing more of that. We want to be doing more of that. More of those follows in chat, please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Put your exclamation mark raffles in chat if you want to be in with a chance to win. Multi-tag. Let's get back. Let's get out of this scene because my mind was blown by this. Not only was that this find and the find game objects was enough to make me go, what? What? And we didn't play with the options. Let's play with the options now while the robot's doing stuff. So we've got options here. Eternals, nothing, tag expand, group expand, tag access script, and tag optimize. What are all of the options?
So tag script is actually a little bit like a little stealing from script builder. So that tag access script will auto be generated. So as you change different tags, you can have a tag access script generated, so you don't have to type T1 in quotes. You can use the tag access script to have it type safe generated for you. So it looks at the it's like script builder but just for tags. So it just looks at the tags and builds that one script.
So you don't need to have script builder in your project to be able to use it.
No. So the script builder does have a tag. It will build this exact same file. It's just one of the builders for tag for script builder. But this has it built in, dedicated only for this purpose. So it has none of the power of script builder to build any script, but it can build this one thing, which is a tag access script. And by clicking that create or that automatic, it will do so. And then we actually looked at that file. I think that was that other file you opened.
That's right, yeah.
It's already there. Yeah, and so it just showed T1, T2, and so you can automatically use that to get them instead of using the string. And then tag, you can kind of leave these how they are. It just kind of, it's a little bit of the cleanup I told you. The default's usually good. Like if you create a long tag and then you remove it like you did, do you want to clean up and remove that so you don't start filling up all the tags, even though I don't know the limit. But it can play cleanup for you. And that's under the optimize there. So, yeah, and they all have tooltips.
Yeah, leave that on auto. I'll leave that on auto. And then they've got here tag group expand and tag expand.
Yeah, we'll have to hover over that.
Oh, let me
recall my memory. The tooltip over tag expand.
So.
Is it? It's not doing you a tooltip. I know it's going to have to do with. Oh, I know what tag expand is. Like.
There we go. I've got it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, group expand.
So this will facilitate the generation of group permutations. For example, when selected, adding tag T1/color.red will automatically create T1 color.red or color.blue. Also note that this
Right.
option enabled the tag optimize. So basically, if I had color.red.blue.green.yellow and T1, and I said, okay, one of those colors, it would say, "Hey, you're going to want probably to have all the others as well."
Right, because T1 might be a different color. So, because remember, tags are static, meaning you create them all here in the editor, and then when you build your game, that's your tags. So if you need those later on, and that's how Unity's tag system works, you can't in the game just add tag green out of nowhere. They had to have existed in the tag manager. So this here will try to expand, and so you don't have to manually make all the tags. It assumes if you have red, then you might be changing the color, and it'll make them all for you.
Yeah, because
And
there are cases where you might not have any game objects that with that tag, so you don't want to automatically clean up and remove them. But in runtime, you might want to instantiate something and give it that
that's
tag.
right, exactly. You might have a green card that's instantiated. That's exactly right. And it
Uh,
doesn't hurt to have tags sitting there if you don't use them. They're just kind of part of the big.
No, as long as you
Big
don't have 5,000 of them, I think we're going to be
Yes, correct. And most people don't even have that many probably because they couldn't multi-tag. So everybody kind of just gives it up a little bit. They use a couple
Yeah.
of tags and just get tired of it because it can't help them.
fine. Then we've got tag expand.
Oh, yes. Let's see what that is. This one says tag permutation.
So, for example, when
so same
selected
kind
the
of
creation,
concept.
here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Tag path T1/T2/T3 would also produce the T1 and T1/T2.
Yeah, so if something's round and red and let's see, what did I say? Red, round, and I don't know, flying. It assumes if you click this that you want those they're not really related, so you might want red and round, and you also want round and flying. You don't just want that combination of three things. You want all permutations of it. So basically, if you click these buttons, you end up with a lot of more tags that'll cover you.
Yeah.
If that's really what you're after.
A lot of possibly unused tags. And then
Yeah.
you've got your internal levels again.
And that's just again to tell you what multi-tags is doing inside if you feel like you want to know what's going on. And I use it, of course, a lot developing, but I left it in there in case somebody's questioning what it's doing.
Right, should we announce the winner? Let's announce the winner. I need a drum roll. That was the worst drum roll of all time. Let's pick the winner. So, whoever wins, you're a lucky badger. So, give me an exclamation mark, AI Unity in chat as we pick the winner. West Rider 907, congratulations. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to being a winner. You are a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Give me a private message or whisper on Twitch and pop over to the Discord and give me a message on Discord with your email address. So I like to have, yay, bitch, Jamie gives a cheer. You're welcome, West Rider, and thank you so much to AI Unity for the licenses. So West Rider, give me a whisper with your email address, and also go on Discord and give me a private message with your email address there as well. How do you whisper? You click on my name and you say whisper in the chat. So I say, hi, how you doing? Like that. And then you click on me and then you say whisper. Like that. It's magic.
Clever.
It is clever, isn't it? So if I say now /W space my name and then I go hi like this. So you like that? Awesome. Fantastic. There you go. Brilliant. All right. As Washington says, whisper a message code with your email address, then hop on Discord and whisper a message code on there. Basically, the reason why we do that is because once upon a time there were some people being naughty, and naughty people get their bottoms smacked. And that's why we can't have nice things. That's why we can't have nice things, people, because there's people being cheeky. I'm loving this multi-tag system. The one thing I love the most about the multi-tag system is that it doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. It's making use of something that Unity have already made for us. And like you say, it means if I'm using Unity 2017. If I open up a project in Unity 2018, I can continue to use your multi-tags and your script builder and hopefully your Nlog as well.
Yes, I very much hope that, and that was because I'll be building projects in, and I don't want my assets to be outdated. Yes, that I will make sure that's always the case, is the farthest of my ability.
Right, let's play about with Nlog. Now that we've got a lucky winner that is West Rider of the multi-tag, and we've got BitGamey and Sengoku, who have won copies of Script Builder. We want to play with Nlog. So when I played this demo, this game console, it churned out a load of stuff in this pretend console.
Yes,
here.
and that's the only reason this game console is in there, so that you could see this pretty thing. But you can see I passed because I checked that when I'm searching for T1, did I find the right objects? And I knew I was supposed to find T1, go game object T1 and game object T2, and so they all passed. I think the last one I wanted to fail. You have to look at it, but so I always write a self check for my own thing, so I can by running it. I actually see if things are working before I check in. So, and also it lets people know what it's supposed to do because there's a pass fail. But we kind of went through those search APIs, and that's just telling you that they worked.
Oh, Tusk, thank you for coming in there with a load of cheers. Keep on cheering as much as you want with doggies and stuff. We will take those biddies to the bank, and the kids will eat. So if I go to consoles here.
Yeah, it was printed to the console and to that game console, so it's the same data.
Now I'll go to project, and I'm going to go to Nlog, and I'm going to go to example scenes. And which one shall I load up? Nlog game
just
console?
the Unity console is probably good because that's easier to.
Right. More biddies for the kids. Thank you, Tusk. Throw those biddies in the jar. We need to have a better. Well, actually say we need to have a better one, but the one on my desk right now is near identical to the beer mug in the bottom right corner of the screen. If I took a photograph, I'm actually holding it up with one hand, and I've got my eye. Oh, you can't see me because the face is on, but my eyeball is closed, one of them, and I'm comparing. And it's near identical. So actually, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's very apt. In the bottom right hand corner, we've got the same thing that's on my desk, full of cider. It's so big. It's actually bigger than. It's physically bigger than my head. That's how big my beer jug is. All right, so I've opened up Nlog Unity console, and inside here we've got this game object that's called Nlog test.
That's right. And like always, the best place to start is the GUI. In fact, that's where you survive in all these tools. Try to make it very intuitive. So under the tools pull-down menu, you already have it.
Of course. I'm so organized. Organized.
Yes. And
let me just clear out this old dirty console. Okay. And
so Nlog, so everybody's familiar with Unity's log system, which is fine, and you do Unity debug and you write your little text. The problem is you can't later decide to put a header on there, change the header of all your things, or add messages like what method am I in where this log statement was, or what level debug am I in. Or you can't filter. You can't say, I just want log messages that are in this namespace because that's where I'm debugging currently. So you're just kind of stuck with this bland thing of all the messages that scroll around. But Nlog, I surveyed all the logging systems that were in C# for the last 15 years, and Nlog is an open source product that just boomed and kind of smothered everybody else. So in the C# world, and so it has a good backing that proved that it was the best. And since Unity is obviously C#, it was the perfect candidate. So I very much took all of C# after Nlog after porting it and made it very much Unity. Cleaned it up for Unity. So I think we ended up with the best logging framework that can be. And so that's where it came about. In the GUI over here, so how Nlog works is it needs a configuration file to figure. So the first thing you have to do is make that configuration file with the plus sign.
So let me make this a bit bigger so you can actually see the plus signs. There you go.
That's right, the little plus sign. So it'll make that file.
So let's click it. Let's click it. Oh, boom. There you go.
Yeah, I created it there. Very good. And let me describe a little bit of how Nlog works. And this is how Nlog, works for the last 10 years before Unity. It's a target and rules-based system. So it has rules to determine. It has targets to say if you're going to your logging statement, what should I do to it? You're going to have logging statements all through your code, and it'll say nlog.debug, nlog.trace. In fact, actually, you see a preview of what the logging statements in your code will look like. Logger.fatal, logger.info, and then you put your message just like you would in Unity. So now this Nlog can determine what to do with those message. And so if you open up target there, expand targets, that section, and then once more, it says, okay, if my messages are routed to this target, which is the Unity console, send it to the Unity console, and this is how I want you to lay out your message. I want it to be the color olive. I want you to put in brackets the level. So like if it's debug level, trace level, or info level, put that there. Then put call site. Where was it called from? So it was called from my class dot awake. Then put the message, and the message is of course the message of the log message, like what your string is in the message. And you can see all these variables by hitting that plus sign. If you hit that plus sign to the right layout, you can find the variables, so you don't have to remember like new line or color. And message, of course, is the most valuable, which is already in there. So that pretty much covers. You can write some text in there too if you just want to write a header, my company, or you want to write XYZ. It'll end up in your log messages. And so that's how a target is. And then we finish off with rules. Rules say, okay, which of my logging statements, so I have 2,000 logging statements in my code, which one go to this target? And you can see this rule right now has star name for the class and star for the namespace. So that means every log message will go to this target. But you can have just the namespace, let's call it the namespace my development. So if you're working in a one class or one namespace, you can say just those go to a different target. And that target might say log debug and info messages, but everybody else only log errors. So you only see those annoying debug and info messages just in the class that you are working on.
If I'm clicking,
so you want to try? You want to actually try that?
I was going to make a new. I was going to make a new.
Yeah, make another one. Call it Unity console.
So, but here's all the different choices.
Unity console.
I can make
towards the bottom.
So I can actually make email as a.
Yeah, you can have, if you send a loud-minute email, it will email you. But that would be dangerous if you probably just do it for fatal error. But
5,000 errors coming out.
For every message. You can send it to memory. There's one that sends it to an in-game console. The most popular, of course, so that's that game console we used to see. You can send your messages so you can just say only errors.
Web service.
Yeah, that was useful if you had a web API out there. There's also Nlog viewer. That's a viewer that exists, so you can bring up that viewer. It's an open source viewer. So if you had it on, if you put Unity on your phone, it'll send it to the viewer, and you can watch the log messages on the viewer.
Oh, and this comes back to what we said right at the start of the interview, where you were saying that all these different types of devices and systems that Unity is able to compile for, they're not all the same. So you wouldn't be able to log to the same things.
That's right. So if you hit Unity console there, and I'll show you one powerful method of it. So let's call it. You can see it's called. Give it a different name. You can say, how about call it Unity console shoes, or my important.
My
shoes. My shoes.
Now
let's say this is the important one. Okay, so now we'll make
red.
There we go. Very good. Yeah, and then let's make another rule. So now we've got two targets. Make another rule, and this will say namespace. Call of the namespace under development. So, or name class. Yeah, under development. So that's the class. That's the class name then. Oh, that's the name of the rule.
Okay, can we call this dev rule?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you can leave one of these stars, but this would only match the class dev rule in the namespace under development, and you can send this to target Unity 2. So you change the target there. There you go. You got it. And you change it to my shoes. So now the under development one will go to the second one, and will be red. Exactly. And you could probably, since this is development, you'd probably turn on warning info debug. Yeah, exactly. So now you're only going to get all those log messages on this one, and you could turn the other one to not be so noisy. You could turn that one to be exactly. You just want errors and fatal on there. And so now you only get nice email messages in your.
I could send all my messages to Freshmate and spam him. Yes, that's true. Yeah. And it's actually dangerous that you could just beef people with this, couldn't you?
And then to tie it all together, there's a test logger that would just run these. You see up at the top there, the logging statements on all the levels. You hit the play button, and it'll run those just like in your code. It'll play those, and it'll run these rules and targets, and you can see the console, the result of that. So
Oh, what did I break?
I don't know.
What did I break? Mask menu has no instance.
Yes, I actually have heard of that. They their mask field. This is an editor script. They how do you say, they obsoleted an API, and it was in one of the Unity versions, and I took it out, but maybe we're conflicting.
Mm.
Might have to open in another one. I don't know if it's causing a problem. See if you can clear it, but play.
Yeah.
So it's hitting all the red ones.
It was my namespace. He didn't like that. Since I put the namespace back to everything, messy code breaker. That's right. So as soon as I put the main space back, maybe does my namespace have to be in quotes?
No, it should be a straight string. Oh, I know. So you don't need the quotes. What happened was it was matching both rules, because see, there's a final field to say if you match this rule, do you keep going?
Ah.
So click that on the top one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so let's see if we clear. Maybe are they back there and I can't see them?
Fatal,
I think
there
that's
you go.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see now. This is doing correct thing, but we're
Yeah.
only matching. Remember, we only put fatal as the first level, so I guess add all the levels back to the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't really have. Yeah, there we go. Now run it.
There you go.
Yeah, see. So we're just all of them are matching the first rule because we don't really have a my shoe namespace. So I was just letting them all match the first rule, which sends us to the first one. And notice that color was olive. It looks like. If you look, yeah. So you could change olive to blue, and you'll see them all turn blue or pink.
I want to be pink.
Pink may not be a.
Pink doesn't
You
exist.
can put the pound sign though for non. Yeah, you can specify an exact color.
There you go.
There you go. And you can see, you can go crazy here. You can have error messages in red and info. By doing rule targets, you can, separate the color of your messages, and you can add. You can see it has remember we put the level in front and the call site, and then we put a new line. So you format your messages however you want. Yeah, it's a lot to go through in this, but I think that's the majority. One of the huge things too is we never discussed at the beginning, you can pick what platforms you want to log on. So you can just say only for desktop, and then for mobile and everything, there we go. You pulled that off. How'd you pull that off?
I just got rid of my namespace.
Yeah.
So this one basically now is targeting my shoes, and it's only checking out for.
You're right. You've already adapted pretty quick. And if you pick this only to work on my desktop, then when you build your system for mobiles, it will pull out all the logging. Because I was able to use this special C# rule, so the logging is physically not in your compile, which is a great saver. And there's overhead to logging, and you might not want it on mobile stuff.
Wow, look at this.
So yes, you can pull it out of different places, and it will physically not be called. It won't waste any time. Yeah, and I recognize this. This is an obsolete API. It won't happen if you download the latest on 2018. On 20.4, one of them, they finally removed this API and switched over to a new one in the editor.
If you're not sure if you're going to need it or want it or use it because you're not using debugging, then believe me, even just this, that I was able to sit here and choose which platforms I wanted to log for, what levels I could have multiple different types of rules and different targets. That in itself just made me go, what?
And you're often debugging one script, and you need to know what's happening in this one area of my design where there's the communication, and you can have a magnifying glass on that area.
Oh man, that's all. And I honestly will be probably using the email for one rule that I'll have here. I'll stick something in the name and the namespace and what the levels, something that is going to be like, if that ever happens, I need to get an email about it.
It could be one log statement that's buried that only if the user clicks this button do I send an email, and it could be like, I need help or something. So it doesn't have to be. So
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, it could be like, you know, a
spam.
support. It could be a support thing.
Yeah, a
Oh,
support thing. Sure.
AI designer, I am blown away. You've given us so many licenses to give away in chat. You've shown us the wonders of your stuff, and you've let me distract you from your children for nearly 3 hours of your time. He did ask me, everyone, how long do these things go on for? And I say around an hour, depends on how popular the asset is and how good the chat's going. You're going for a couple of hours. We've gone for nearly 3 hours on chat.
Ah, yes, I'm very encouraged by it. I like the interest.
All right, buddy. I will let you go. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll chat to you very soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, all Unity fans. I will see you on the forums.
Well, that was it for another live dev interview. I hope you had fun and enjoyed yourselves. You too can take part if you pop over every Fridays and Saturdays at alderws.twitch.tv/themessycoder, 9 PM GMT time. If you want to know what it is in your time zone, use Google. So don't forget to all of your friends and neighbours. If you do like it, click it. Till next time. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.